Hey, this is Angie Scarpa.
And Melanie Maka-Evie.
And Emily Burton.
And Alice Austin of Black Savage. And you're listening to Tom and Zeus on Shout It Out Loudcast.
And reports tonight on how destruction is impacting the campus community.
Names of O'Hara Hall, Skid Row, T-Zone, Banff.
Badass motherfuckers.
Somph, sit on my face.
Drinking like fucking ass pre-gaming, as we call it. What is this dorm damage bill on our tuition statement?
Dorm damage?
Well, we only broke like 3 chairs and 4 desks this month.
Is that a positive thing? Bam! That's right. We're back with another episode of Dorm Damage, the show where anything and everything is on the table and the table gets smashed. This is episode 79, and it's that time of year, folks. It is spooky season. Zeus, what are we doing this week?
This is a Dorm Damage series that we loved, that we created, and that is Halloween picks. They're mostly for you because you're the horror film guru, and we're going to pick 10 horror films. I believe yours will be a lot more thorough than mine.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, we always pick 10, and this is always fun because I always will think like, all right, maybe I'll see that one, but I'm such a pussy. Like, I can't do it. There's like horror movies that I'm just like,
Zeus is picking like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, just the premise of what you're telling me is already going to give me nightmares.
Okay, well, good, because I have some of those.
Good. Wonderful.
Good.
All right, well, let's start. I mean, again, these aren't really in order.
No.
But let's start with number 10 for me. Number 10 for me is...
Oh, no, he's laughing already.
Like, these are some of the, like, I feel like horror movies are good when they're bad sometimes.
Oh, of course. And, absolutely.
This one is definitely one. It's called Piranha 3D, Tom. You remember this?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of like actors in this movie. Elizabeth Shue, Adam Scott, Jerry O'Connell, Ving Rhames, and Stephen R. McQueen, who's related to Chad McQueen, who was the guy from Karate Kid who just recently died. He was like the badass that was like, that no way could fucking Pussy Daniel actually beat. There's no way he was going to beat him.
Oh, no.
And also the son, this guy's the grandson of the great Steve McQueen. Christopher Lloyd and Richard Dreyfuss were in this movie. It's so fucking bad.
Oh, yeah, but that's the fun of it.
It's like all these people in this water and all the piranhas come out. Somebody gets his dick bitten off and the dick is floating in the water and piranhas are fighting over it. It's just, what the fuck? But I remember seeing it going, this is so over the top. And, it's kind of based on the 78 movie Piranha too, which I remember.
Which is actually kind of a classic.
Yeah. So I was going to pick that one or this one. And this one is just kind of like a fun, easy fucking disposable movie.
Yeah. I love it. All right. Number 10 for me. So I always try to mix up like newer stuff because I'm like the horror nerd with some classics and, some kind of, popular ones. So
sure.
Since this is our third edition of our Halloween picks, I'm going to go with a movie that a lot of people hated when it came out, but time has been kind to it for us horror geeks. And that is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, the one that's famous for not having Michael Myers in it.
That's right. Like, that was 3 on that one.
Yeah. Halloween 3. It's the really weird, like, it's like got the masks that the kids put on, and when they hear the little song, their fucking heads explode, and it's just this cult leader. Like, it's the story is just batshit insane. And when it came out, people were in a rage. Like, where's Michael Myers? But that was 40 years ago, and now people are like, this movie's awesome. So I love it. It's a fun. It's got some gross stuff. It's got some scares and some creeps, but the special effects are obviously terrible, so it makes it even fun. But it's a good one if you haven't seen it.
Really, I'm surprised it's grown on you.
Yeah, I like it just like you said with Piranha 3D. I like it because it's fun. It's bad, but it's fun. not every horror movie has to be like terrifying. Something can just be fun, you know?
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So the next one that I'm going to pick is a supernatural kind of movie.
Yep.
And that is The Skeleton Key in 2005.
Oh, nice deep cut there. Yeah. Kate Hudson,
John Hurt, Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah.
She takes over this old house in Louisiana, and you got voodoo shit and witch doctor shit. And there's just like a room with a skeleton key. You can get in there, and there's all sorts of secrets she discovers.
It's good.
But the ending
Yeah.
has stayed with me over the years.
Yep.
Of like that helplessness that you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, that ending is so worth seeing the movie. And plus, it's Kate Hudson. Check out her ass.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a nice deep cut on your part. All right. Good. Number 9 for me is a movie that's only a few years old. And it was marketed as like, when you first watch it, I think a lot of people didn't realize they were watching a horror movie until they were into it. And they were like, oh shit. Cause it's got like Ray Fiennes, it's got Anya Taylor-Joy. So it's got like a nice cast, but it's called The Menu. And the movie, oh my God, dude, the movie is fucking bonkers. It's about these people, a couple, they travel to this remote island and they eat at like this exclusive restaurant, and Ray Fiennes is the chef, but it turns into, it's got one of the most, what the fuck did I just see endings that you've ever seen in a movie. And it's that movie where like, you're nervous the whole time. Like you can, like you want, it's like the
Tension.
movie where it's like the movie where you want to like yell at the people, say, no. And it just builds.
Hey, let me go into this room over here.
Yeah. It's just, it's crazy. It was, I don't think it was properly marketed because it has horror elements, but the way it's filmed like a drama. It's weird, but it's very, very good. The Menu.
Okay.
Yeah. And that came out in, I think that's only like 2 years old.
All right. So my number 8 is a sequel, and I'm going to take The Exorcist 3.
Yes, dude, that almost made my list. That is so fucking awesome.
Yeah. So that when you said Halloween 3 is what The Exorcist 2 was. It's that
but
one.
The Exorcist 2 is bad.
Yeah, but it's one that's like not really part of the story, and it's out there, and and then 3 jump back to the story. So
yes. Okay.
3 is just fucked. Just the only bad is just bad casting. I love George C. Scott. He's a great actor.
I think he's great in it.
He's just like fucking an old fat guy. Like,
exactly.
It's just like he's playing the cop that was in 1.
Yep.
And in Father Karras, and there's murders going on, and he's kind of back. And there's 2 jump scenes in that movie.
The best.
And they're both with like huge scissors, like fucking bone cutter scissors.
Oh, yeah.
One's worse than the other. That's going to fucking give you a heart attack.
One of the most legendary jump scares in the history of jump scares.
There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
One's the hospital one, and one's the house scene.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember in the fucking like mom just grabs the daughter out of the way and fucking just, oh my God. But I think that's another good one. And the guy that plays the Gemini murderer, the guy that possessing him, and he jumps into Father Karras a couple of
I
think, what's his name? Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Whatever he should have been a fucking Academy Award nominee for that role.
Incredible.
He was insane doing that.
Yep.
That was a great fucking thing. So, anyways, that's mine. Exorcist 3, 8.
Yeah, that is such a great movie. Such a great, like, fun, but like terrifying.
Didn't
fucking
expect
movie.
it to be good, but I
don't
think
I don't think anybody did. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, number 8 for me is a movie that is probably one of the best ghost stories combined with one of the all-time great twist endings ever. And it stars Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
And it's called The Others. And
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh my God. It is so well made. And you're already into it. But then when the twist happens at the end, it just blows your brain away about what you've been watching the entire time. It is so well made, super creepy, kind of gothic, like old timey, like it takes place like years ago. She's a mother with young children and lives in this big house. And it really is like the ultimate ghost story. And then once you get that twist, it just flips the movie on its head and just makes it even that much more enjoyable. Definitely highly recommended. And there's no blood or anything. It's just like a real like creepy, scary like ghost story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 7 for me, I'm going back to old school shit.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I'm going the old Universal horror movie characters.
Can't go wrong with those guys.
I recently saw it. I have the Universal box set series that came out a few years back.
Yep.
And I haven't seen the old sequels yet, but the first one is pretty good. Although the two divers in their short shorts, the two guys with their shorts going up to their fucking nipples, it was about as homoerotic. Fucking the two guys in the water together floating. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Is this supposed to be like gay subtext? What is this? However, though, the creature, that chick in that movie, I believe her name is Julia Adams, is gorgeous.
Really?
Gorgeous. Oh, my God. So between all the horror movies of those Universal stuff, I think she's the prettiest one that they've ever cast. She starred in some other movies as well. I'm surprised she wasn't a bigger name, but she's played in movies with Rock Hudson, James Stewart. I'm looking here at her Wikipedia, and other stuff. But I don't know. She died at 92 in 2019.
Jesus.
Maybe we could have hooked up with her back then, Tom. You know,
maybe had a shot at a nice gilf.
Pew! But the movie is the same movie. You know, they go into a fucking area trying to discover something, and they go into a secluded black lagoon in Brazil, I believe, in the Amazon, and the creatures there. Universal horror movie stuff.
Yep.
I like it. I think it's unique. And you're so used to that character with the fucking mask and the fish man. And But back then, I'm sure it was like first time seeing it and the creature coming out. People like, oh,
yep.
So, anyways,
Nice.
I liked it.
Nice. All right. I'm going to go to something that's relatively new. Like I said, I like to mix up old and new. This movie's only a year old. And this was like, I just threw this on. I found it on Hulu. And anytime I see a new horror movie that I don't know much about, I always give it a shot and see if it kind of impresses me or something. Because I'm the worst horror critic in the world. Like, it takes a lot to impress me because so many movies just repeat the same shit. So I really get a kick out of something new. And this is a movie called Cobweb, and it's so well made. So the IMDb description, it just says an 8-year-old boy tries to investigate the mysterious knocking sounds that are coming from inside the walls of his house, unveiling a dark secret that his sinister parents have kept hidden from him. Fucking unbelievable. The parents, right off the bat that there's something going on with the parents. But you're like, is this kid imagining that? Is he just having a nightmare? Is there really something going on? And his parents are like wicked shady and weird, and he knows it, and we know it. But like, and then by the time it's just like a nice original movie. Again, no real, not kind of bloody movie. There's obviously some violent shit in it, but it's just a real creepy story. And any movie that involves a kid in it is just already creepy for me. So Cobweb, it's on Hulu and I think Amazon Prime. Very, very good one for the people that don't like the blood and guts.
Okay. And Tom, let's take a quick little break and we'll be right back. All right. We're back. And my number 6, I'm going to go with Jaws 2.
Oh, I love that movie. That go ahead. That's your pick.
It reminds me of Rocky. And we love Rocky. We ended up liking Rocky 2. And you're not supposed to like a sequel.
Yep.
And you're supposed to say, oh, geez, the shark again. But I think Jaws 2 is a well done movie.
I think it's great.
I thought it was a lot of good parts to it.
Yep.
I'm okay with not having fucking Richard Dreyfuss in it.
No.
You know, but I thought he played a good role again, Roy Scheider. I think the whole storyline was great. I think the buildup was great.
I think crazy Chief Brody is a great character.
Yeah.
And I think this one of my favorite scenes ever is that helicopter scene when that helicopter lands on the water.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's what horror movies are. Like holy shit.
Oh, the kid fucking the girl falls over and they're all on the boat.
God, yeah.
He just falls into shock. He sees it fucking get fucking eaten by a great white shark in front of him.
Yeah, I think that was one.
Fuck. Well, you would never
that's
go in the water again.
I think that's one of those sequels that when it came out, because the first one was so classic, everyone was like, ah. But then as time goes by, people are like, that's actually pretty good.
If it's on, I watch it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And then
I love it.
Power wire fucking thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's great.
Right?
Yep, good call.
He's in his short shorts.
Oh, he's got the Magnum PI shorts going. Yeah, yes, exactly.
Balls is hanging out of the shorts when he's on the thing. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yep. All right, number 6 for me is an absolute classic. One of the earliest like horror movies that I remember seeing. So fun. They made a couple sequels. The second one is okay, but nothing beats the original Creepshow. Absolutely fucking love. I'm short attention span, so anything that has an anthology that has a couple little like mini movies in it, directed, creation of Stephen King and George Romero. So you got those two guys together. Some great short stories in there, very comic booky, kind of tongue in cheek. But some of them, great effects for when it came out in the 80s. And I just think it's one of those fun, like really great, like kind of Halloween season movies, Creepshow. And I think it's got to be so many versions of the Blu-ray are out and it's on streaming. So definitely a fun one.
All right. So Creepshow is your 6. My number 5, I'm going to go with another fucking animal because I can't deal with animals that are killing. Do you remember the fucking Anaconda movie in 97? Oh.
Yeah, with Ice Cube.
Ice Cube, Jennifer Lawrence, John Voight, Eric Stahl, Owen Wilson. I just remember that one John Voight scene with the snake fucking like spits him out and shit.
Dude, J-Lo being in that movie with like, what she have like a bikini on? It was just like fucking, that was just for guys to look at.
I think at one point he says, Ice Cube goes, Anaconda, motherfucker. I fucking hate snakes. I mean, if anything, this reminds me of the Creature in the Black Lagoon, the fucking floating down the thing on a fucking boat and all that shit. It's the same thing as Creature in the Black Lagoon.
Yeah. Any of those, anything in the water, like monster movies don't really scare me too much, but like water shit. And so far, you've picked 3 of them: Piranha, Creatures from the Black Lagoon. Actually, 4: Jaws, and everything in your movie's a fucking water movie. I hate that.
I fucking love the ocean. I am petrified of it. I will not. I wear like flip flops. I will not fucking go barefoot on the fucking ocean. Fuck that. And that anaconda shit. Awesome. It's seeing a snake. Oh my goodness.
Forget it. Fucking forget it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5 for me. I always like to throw a franchise in here just because to kind of make it a little bit exciting. This is a great franchise because they just keep pumping them out because they're easily made. They just a brand new one just dropped and they just announced that another one is going to drop next year. And that is the VHS franchise. So it's the found footage franchise. They came out with VHS 1, 2, Viral. Then they had like VHS 85, VHS 99, and they're all just like, again, anthologies. But they're all just like really fucking batshit original movies. Each section of the anthology has like a different director, so they give like their spin on the horror thing. They're just really creative. Most of them are nasty and gory with incredible like special effects. Some of them are a hell of a lot better than others, but anytime there's a VHS one that drops, like the new one that just dropped, I think it's called VHS Beyond, I immediately go on whatever streaming it is and watch it there. I never get bored of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're fun.
Jesus Christ. Now that you've said that, number 4 for me.
Oh, no.
Lake Placid.
Jeez, dude, you are afraid of, you can't even take baths?
Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
With
it's
Bill
awesome.
Pullman and the smoke show called Bridget Fonda.
Oh, back before
Brendan
she
Gleeson, Oliver Platt, and the fucking scene stealing Betty White.
Yes.
Even
Dude, Blake
fucking
Placid's a
Mariska
good one.
Hargitay is in that movie.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, she was in it for a little bit. But
Wow.
now forget it. Now there's a fucking major fucking crocodile in the water.
So we got crocodiles, anacondas, sharks, creatures, and piranhas.
We're not done yet.
You know, I was just going to say we're not done yet.
But a crocodile eating people, that's another one. Like, what the fuck? You ever see those like reels or Instagram stuff or TikTok, and there'll be a video like someone's like water. It's like, you might want to look closer before you take a step in. And if you close up on the water, you can see a fucking alligator's got its mouth wide open underneath the fuck. I'm just like, I am never going to Florida. Fuck,
dude, here's
that.
speaking of, here's a great movie for you that you would, it's not on my list. It's a movie called Crawl, and it takes place, it's about kind of like what just happened in Florida, like massive hurricanes, water, like, you know, floods, and the crocodiles, they don't know that it's a flood. So the crocodiles do what crocodiles do until they start ending up in people's houses, swimming around their living rooms and shit. Oh,
that's all I need.
Oh, it's good. I mean,
that meme that goes out every time there's a hurricane of like sharks going down the fucking highway.
The very first time that came out, everyone's like, "Oh my god, look at that!" Like,
it's the same old thing.
It's the same old thing. Yeah. All right,
that movie was funny though. It
Yeah,
was actually pretty funny.
Oh yeah. Number 4 for me. This is a movie. It's old, but this is one of the, again, I'm going back to some of the earliest things that kind of turned me into a wacko horror fan. This came out in 1980, and I remember it was on HBO or paid, cable all the time. And it is a horror movie, but it's also like really like a character drama. It's a movie called Fade to Black, and it stars
Metallica.
Yeah, right. So it stars Dennis Christopher, and he plays this like real outcast, this real loser guy, but he is absolutely obsessed with movies, all different kinds of movies, not just horror movies. And he ends up having like a complete and total breakdown. And then he goes around killing people dressed as some of his favorite Hollywood movie stars. It's so fucking creepy. Dennis Christopher should have gotten like at least nominated for this. I mean, first of all, he's a great actor to begin with. He's like a real actor. He goes around doing this crazy shit, like dresses up as like Dracula, Hopalong Cassidy, like different things. And he just wipes out these people in all these weird creative ways. And then it comes to this like real terrible ending to the movie. Which is why people are like, I don't know, this is kind of a horror movie, but it's also mixed with like, it's almost like Taxi Driver kind of at the same time. But yeah, it's kind of, I think it's on streaming. There was a lot of rights issues with this because throughout the entire movie is just tons of clips of movies because the main character is like a movie nerd. So there's tons of classic clips. But I think it's available somewhere on streaming, but Fade to Black, if anything, just see if a Dennis Christopher, the guy's friggin' magnificent in that movie. Very, very creepy movie.
Dude, that's
a very
the guy
young
from Breaking Away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right? And he was in Django and
yep,
a few other
yep. And there's a really young Mickey Rourke in it before he got all fucking banged up too. So
faces, all the skin. Oh.
Yep.
All right, Tom. Number 3 for me. I'm going back to old school Universal, and that is The Wolfman.
Oh, nice.
So with Lon Chaney Jr., and it also has Claude Rains from Casablanca fame.
Yep.
And a very young Ralph Bellamy.
Oh, Trading Places.
Yes. Yeah. And when you see him, you're like, oh my God, Mortimer.
Yep. Oh my God.
Yeah. And of course, the great Bela Lugosi, who loves to overact in anything he fucking does.
That's all he does.
Man, the whole movie is kind of, there's a lot of stuff. Like, I wish I could break down. It got a lot of critically acclaimed stuff. And there's a lot of people have done analysis of the Wolfman because it's a lot of it psychological, the man and the beast side of human nature and the moon and shit. So there's a lot of themes and interpretations and analysis of what does it mean by the Wolfman shit. I just look at it as another cheesy fucking Universal movie that actually can be fun.
Yeah.
There's something about those. I know it was done in the 40s and even 30s. Something about the way they made their scenes.
That's awesome.
Every fucking village, every way they filmed, the darkness, the light, the fucking fog that they had come around. It just builds so much of that, you know,
black and white.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? Anyways, I would just simply add to it, Lon Chaney Jr. is not what you would call a great actor.
Oh, no.
It's just like a lot of overacting. Tell me about it. Werewolves? Are those real? Like, dude, he meets the girl within like a half an hour of meeting the girl in the movie. I love you. I'll run away with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, because
he's so
still
good looking.
Yeah, because it's still like a Hollywood movie, even though it's like a horror. Oh, my God.
It's just like, Dad, yeah. I know I'm engaged with the local fucking doctor, but I'm going to run away with him. Why? You just met him 10 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
Oh, God.
It's just a lot of that kind of stuff, but it's still, it'll get you in the mood if you watch that. And Halloween, it's just, it's that old Universal magic. It's just, that's how I explain it.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome. All right, I'm going to go back to another brand new movie. This movie actually came out this year. Ooh. And it's on Shudder. So a lot of these things are on Shudder, which is fantastic streaming service. You can also, I think, get it on Prime Video. This is another one that anytime I see a new movie that has a story that's relatively interesting, I'm like, I got to give it a shot. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one works. It's called Oddity, Odtity, Oddity. And the description, if you see it, really doesn't kind of do it any justice. The description simply says a psychic medium attempts to uncover the truth behind her sister's murder at the site of the crime. So this guy and his wife, it's an Irish horror movie. Okay. This guy and his wife live in like this, you know, out.
Can you understand it?
Oh yeah.
Is it like, no,
it's not that bad. If anything, it almost sounds like British accents. It's not as bad as with the Irish brogue. So this husband and wife, they live in like this really crazy house that they're trying to remodel. She ends up getting murdered. He ends up meeting up with her sister, who was blind and who owns like this curio shop where she has this psychic power. Any item that she touches, she could tell you like a story about it, like who owned it or whatever. Long story short, she ends up going to the house and finding out what actually happened to the wife. Mm-hmm. And again, it's got twists. It's got creeps, tension. It's a stressful movie to watch. It's got some great scares, but it's one of those, again, creative and original storyline. And it really puts you in a place where you just get creeped out. I just really thought it was one of the best ones that I've seen this year. Very good. Yeah.
Oddity. All right.
Yep.
Oh, Tom, I want to take a step real quick because there was a part that I wanted to mention. So you're the big Universal guy. Lon Chaney, I think, is the only one that did all the sequels for his monster.
I think so too. Yeah, I think that's right.
Because I know Bela Lugosi played Frankenstein at one point too.
Yeah.
So all the sequels going on all the way through, even fucking Abbott and Costello, the 4 fucking sequels. He played them.
Yep.
And Lugosi, who plays the gypsy in this movie, my wife. Do the next dance move is beat the gypsy. Wow. When he's teaching the people how to do country line dancing,
yes.
One of the moves is beat the gypsy.
Beat the gypsy.
And then he went to the person's house that had the fucking yard sale. This gypsy woman, what did you do to this woman? He thought he shrunk her into the Barbie
It's
doll.
like a Barbie doll. Yeah.
It's like, do not put your tears on me, gypsy woman. Yeah. I'm not a gypsy. He's like,
we should do a friggin' watch along with Borat. Oh,
fucking, there's a bunch of gypsies in this movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go to my number 2. And Tom, I promise you, it will be the last time. One more water movie.
That's all right.
Orca.
Oh, that is so good.
So we've got killer whales, great white sharks, the creature. Yep. We've got a snake, and we've got an alligator. A crocodile, excuse me. So, yeah, those are all my stuff, and that's why I don't like going in the water. But Orca was kind of a Jaws ripoff. However, they recruited a good actor like Richard Harris, who's actually, I should say a great actor. And
there must have been a payday for him
on that movie, if you remember, was Bo Derek. Yeah, Bo Derek's on a fucking whaling fucking boat. That's realistic. Come on. What we talking about?
I mean, the biggest part of that ripoff was that the boat in Jaws was called the Orca.
Yeah.
So then they named the movie. I mean, granted,
well, that's what a whale is called.
I know,
killer whale.
Of course.
But one of the hands on deck was a character named Ken, who was played by Robert Carradine.
Oh, Jesus!
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds. Hi, Orca. How you doing, Orca? Real sorry that I snapped at you.
Yeah. There is a scene in Orca that stayed with me for years. In the beginning, what started the Orca's revenge, he captures the female orca.
Yep.
And strings it up and kills it.
Yep.
And then the baby orca, that premature baby came out of it, and they kill that and throw that over.
Oh,
and the other orcas in the water, the killer one, sees this all happen and just lets out this wail, like crying that is doing this. It's fucking well done in that part. You're like, at that point, you're like, fucking kill them all. I don't give a shit.
Well,
you
it's another
feel for it.
It's another one of those movies when it came out, everybody was like, yeah, like you said, Jaws ripoff, but time has been kind to it. It's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's very good. And just the scenery's great because it's all on ice. And it's north, and there's a lot of, ice and iceberg kind of scenery toward, especially the ending part. But I thought it was a pretty good movie. If you guys remember it, Orca from 1977. Yeah,
it's definitely good. All right, my number 2. This is my last new movie. This is another one that came out this year. This one is another one really interesting that got mixed reviews from people that either loved it like me or thought it was boring. It's a movie called it's called In a Violent Nature, and it's a spin on like the Friday the 13th movies, where it's kind of taken from the POV of the killer. Okay. And to me, one of the creepiest things, and I didn't realize this until maybe 20 minutes in the movie, there's absolutely no music in the entire movie. So all you hear are footsteps, breathing, the sounds of doors. There's no music, because you know how every time there's a horror movie, there's like Psycho or something. You get like kill. There's none of that. And so the movie is kind of weird because there are scenes where you're literally like, it's almost like playing like a video game where you're like following the guy through the woods. But it's got arguably the most unbelievably nasty kill I've ever seen in any horror movie, and I've seen them all. And if anybody has seen In a Violent Nature, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The movie is not great, but again, like some of these other picks, it's something different. It's unique.
It's interesting.
It's interesting, exactly. And I thought it was very well made. Yeah.
Wow. I think I've seen previews for this because when you said
it got a lot of buzz. It got a lot of buzz.
Came from the scene, the vision of the murderer.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And you're seeing it from does they show him like stop and like take a piss in the woods? Hold on a second. I'll be right there.
Hold on. Let me. Oh, all right. I'm back. Drink. All right. Number 1. What animal is it? Sharknado?
No, it's not Sharknado. No. I stayed away from that. Although I think there's a killer electric eel movie. I think there was one like that too.
Oh yeah, there was I can't remember the name of it. We'll look it up when we do our next episode on
like
killer animals.
Yeah. But anyways, this one I'm going back old school classic, and I love it, and it may be the best of the horror movies. And that is The Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah. Great.
It's like the first real sequel.
Yep.
So Frankenstein sequel, I think this Bride of Frankenstein came out in 1935, and Daughter of Dracula came out in 1936, which was the sequel to Dracula. This is just fucking awesome. I fucking love it because when I first saw it, because I haven't seen it in years, and I'm watching the film, and they're in this old castle, and this lady's telling the story. Like, the lady telling the story, that looks like the monster. The monster's, wife. But what they do in the movie is they have her telling the story. It's the real Mary Shelley telling her story, and people are praising her for writing this great book. She goes, oh, there's more to the story. And then they flash forward to the ending of Frankenstein, where they burn the house, and Frankenstein, the doctor dies, or supposedly, so does the monster. But, somehow they fucking live. And then another doctor, like Dr. Frankenstein, realizes he made a mistake, doesn't want to play God. Another doctor does. And they're like, let's fucking make a bride for him. The bride doesn't even show up till really towards the end. But we all know that's the famous, like with the hairdo, and she's like,
oh yeah,
screaming. She's got the streak in her hair.
Yep.
Oh my God. So the lady, I remember this lady, Elsa Lanchester. She plays
she was the bride
of Frankenstein, and I'm like, why have I seen her? And she's been in a ton of fucking movies, including one of my favorite fucking movies. The Christmas movies, The Bishop's Wife. I remember.
Oh, that's a great one.
I love that with Cary Grant.
That's a good movie. Yes.
Yeah, and she's just been in a bunch of fucking movies. But
it's funny. Everybody knows her from Bride of Frankenstein. That's like her.
Yeah,
I mean, Bishop's Wife is a big movie too. Obviously.
No, I know she just had a smaller role in that, but
yeah,
she's had a great career. I guess she was in fucking Mary Poppins. I remember her in Murder by Death. Remember that movie?
I don't think I saw that.
Oh my God! Yes, you have. You definitely see Murder by Death, the Neil Simon movie.
Oh yeah. Yes.
All the fucking what do you call it? Crime fighter, mystery detectives come into the place.
Yep.
And fucking Capote's in it and shit. Just fucking stupid. But anyways,
Love it.
I think the storyline is great, and there's retribution and redemption by the monster at the end, and I think it's a great way to wrap that story up. It's just it's written wise, and again, a lot of this shit, those Universal movies have some great themes in them.
Oh, they're great.
Discussed, like being godlike. I'm gonna fucking create this. I'm gonna do this.
That's why a lot of kids in school read Frankenstein. It's not because it's a horror story. It's because it's about that. It's a lot more than that. It became a horror icon, obviously.
And that's why I think it's the basis of probably one of the greatest comedies of all time. I love it. Fucking Mel Brooks's fucking
Young Frankenstein. Yep.
I can't get enough of that fucking movie. I love it. It's one of my favorite of all.
Classic.
But anyways, I think this is probably the best of the sequels, and maybe the best of the horror movies, Bride of Frankenstein.
Nice. All right, my number one is, I can't believe it took us till volume 3 to get to this, but I like to kind of mix it up. This is probably this and the original Halloween, which I'm not putting on my list because that doesn't need to go on a list. Probably my earliest nightmarish vision, and I just finished reading the book, and the remake just came out, which is not good, but the original 1979 TV miniseries for Stephen King's Salem's Lot. Fucking, to this day, it is still so well made. It is still terrifying. It still has some of the great scares. If you're our age, that fucking kid floating in front of the window. Fuck that. To me, it's Stephen King's best story. And I love Stephen King. This adaptation is untouchable. The remake just came out on Max, and it's not good at all. I was disappointed. It wasn't unwatchable. It was just disappointing. But yeah, Salem's Lot. I never get enough of this one, and it's probably the earliest thing that ever scared me was this when it was on TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I agree with you with this, the fucking scene that everybody knows. It's incredible.
Yep.
Well, that wraps up another Halloween list.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Tell us which ones you've seen. I'm sure a lot of these movies that Tom mentions, are new to a lot of you guys. Take a look. Tell us if you agree with them. Anyways, till next time, peace out, Girl Scout. Oh, you over here? Yeah, I'm over here now.
Zeus, it's me. I want to end the show now.
Jesus Christ, Tom. Jesus Christ. Let's end the show now while we got the muscle.